The decision of the Governor of Punjab, Banwarilal Purohit, to turn down an Aam Aadmi Party demand for a special assembly session to introduce a confidence motion has been slammed by the Punjab government, with Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party chief, saying that democracy is over. The Aam Aadmi Party believes that op lotus, the term frequently used to describe efforts by the BJP to topple governments in states that it does not rule, is in play in Punjab, and that they wanted this confidence motion to prove their numbers. The decision of the governor has been welcomed by all political opposition parties, with the Aam Aadmi Party referring to the Congress in the state as being the B team of the BJP. On this show, can the Punjab governor scuttle the trust vote? Is it legal for him to do that? Is one of the issues we'll be looking at. Joining us now, the Aam Aadmi Party MP, Raghav Chadha, somebody who's played a pivotal role in developing or growing the party in Punjab. Raghav, thanks for being with us. Now, the governor says, in the absence of specific rules regarding the summoning of the assembly for considering the confidence motion, he's withdrawn his order. He says rules don't exist. How do you respond?
Vishnu, first of all, the withdrawal order passed by the governor, withdrawing the summons that he had previously issued, is completely unconstitutional and illegal. If there was no provision for us to seek a confidence motion or to call for a session in order to bring a confidence motion, then why did the governor in the first place give his consent? Number two, it is a well-settled position for nearly 5 decades that the governor is the nominal head of the state. He is bound by the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. That is, if the Council of Ministers send to him in writing a resolution of the cabinet saying we wish to call the session of the Vidhan Sabha, he cannot apply his own mind and opine on it. He has to,
but
as
apparently,
a
Raghav, he's not done
postman,
that. Apparently, he's done that on the basis of the matter having been, in fact, you tweeted this letter, right? It's signed by the Principal Secretary to the Governor of Punjab, where it's mentioned this matter was examined and a legal opinion was sought by Satyapal Jain, Additional Solicitor General of India. This is the Additional Solicitor General's legal opinion.
Correct. I'll come to that. Just give me at least 1 minute of uninterrupted time and explain the whole situation to you. First of all, the competent officer to advise on all matters pertaining to the state of Punjab is the Advocate General of the state of Punjab, according to Article 165 of the Indian Constitution. You cannot surpass the AG and go to a BJP appointed lawyer of the central government, who is also a BJP office bearer, to opine on this matter. This is a political opinion, this alleged opinion that the governor is referring to. So first of all, he has bypassed all constitutional sanctity in complete disregard of Article 165 and has gone much beyond his brief to do this. Number one. Number two, the state of Punjab has seen confidence motions in the past. In the year 1981, the then Chief Minister of Punjab brought a confidence motion. In fact, the governor should be would have been well advised that when he was the governor of Tamil Nadu, and if he would have read the history of Tamil Nadu, he would have come to the conclusion that India's first confidence motion was seen in the state of Tamil Nadu. The then Madras in the year 1952, when the then Chief Minister C. Rajagopalachari moved the confidence motion for the first time. And forget all this. Let's not rewind back 40, 50, 60 years. Let us see the most recent example of Jharkhand, where Congress is in alliance government with the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha. They bring in a confidence motion a couple of weeks ago, perhaps a week ago, and place it before the
Congress has welcomed what the governor has said over here. What does that say about the opposition in the state?
Correct. So that brings me to my most crucial point. That is, today the governor of the state of Punjab has become a party to the Operation Lotus that has been engineered and implemented by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Vishnu, BJP called several of our MLAs in Punjab and said we will give you 25 crore rupees each, plus a ministerial berth or a fancy chairmanship, and you cross over. The timeline to do this is 31st of December 2022. And we are already in contact with several of your MLAs, etc.
Do you have proof of this?
true and loyal soldiers of Arvind Kejriwal
No, Raghav,
did
do you have
not
proof
bait
of
an
this?
eyelid. They said they refused that option.
Do you have proof of this?
Well, absolutely. The short answer to that is yes. In fact, we have submitted evidence to the Punjab police. A FIR has been registered. A group of our MLAs met the Director General of Police in the state of Punjab, and FIR has been lodged. So therefore, it is writ large that today
What is the proof,
office of the governor, which is a constitutional office, which is supposed to be an independent, impartial office, has today become a party to Operation Lotus. State after state, all non-BJP governments are being dislodged.
No, but Raghav, I take that, and I know you want to talk about the larger issue of Op Lotus, and we've got time, so we'll talk about that. But I'm asking you, what is the nature of the evidence? Is there video? Is there audio? Several years back, the Aam Aadmi Party was famous for doing stings. Have you gone and stung somebody?
We will live up to our expectation. Don't worry. We have both audio and video, and we've submitted that to the police. Let the police examine it and let the police investigate the matter. I don't wish to comment on the
without getting into the specifics, because what you're saying is really important. You've got audio and visual proof of BJP leaders reaching out to Aam Aadmi Party leaders in Punjab and making these offers, telling them to cross over. Is that right?
We have evidence. We have evidence in several formats, which we have placed before the investigative agency, which in this case is the police of Punjab, in the matter of buying and selling of MLAs, a nefarious act that was attempted by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and we will expose the BJP. We are not the Congress, like the Congress in Goa or the Congress in Karnataka or the Congress in Madhya Pradesh that gets bought and sold. We are true and loyal soldiers of the Aam Aadmi Party, true and loyal soldiers of Arvind Kejriwal. It's not easy to bias or to instill
but
the
then
fear
why
of
have a trust
agencies in
vote
us.
at all? If you're so confident of the strength of your leaders, and then why have a trust vote at all?
A confidence motion is crucial to the legitimacy of the government, of the state government, number one.
But you have record numbers. You have fantastic numbers in Punjab. Where does the question of legitimacy arise?
We have to demonstrate that.
But why do you've just won an election? You've just won an election.
Well, let me finish at least. We wish to demonstrate that. Yes, we won an election, but yes, attempts have been made under this so-called Operation Lotus by the BJP to buy our MLAs, to incentivize them to cross over. And as a result, it is important and perhaps incumbent upon us to demonstrate before the people of Punjab that the confidence reposed in us by the people of Punjab is very well preserved by us and by our party. And we are not going to go the Congress way in this. And Vishnu, something very interesting happened in the state of Punjab. I understand Punjab occupies very little space in the national media, but let me point out that today you saw in Punjab that MLAs of the BJP and MLAs of the Congress got together, formed a group, and together as allies, as partners in crime, in cahoots with one another, went to the governor to stall the proceedings of the House. They wrote letters together, they sought appointments together, they met the governor together, and today BJP and Congress have come together to stop the Aam Aadmi Party, to weaken the Aam Aadmi Party, to break soldiers of the Arvind Kejriwal army. Let me tell you, Vishnu, that Congress, which itself is a victim of perhaps the worst kind of Operation Lotus that BJP has ever launched, yet BJP and Congress are together as far as stopping the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. It's absolutely shocking.
Okay, let's look.
If governors today in this country start exercising discretion on matters such as convening the Vidhan Sabha, then parliamentary democracy of India will come to a standstill.
Raghav, there appears to be no end to the battles that the Aam Aadmi Party wages against governors, whether it's the LG in Delhi or the governor over here. It seems to be almost synonymous with your brand of politics.
It's not a battle against individuals. It is a battle for saving the Indian Constitution, for saving the parliamentary democracy, and upholding the values that are enshrined in the Constitution.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Now this is what the BJP has said. Amit Malviya, for example, has tweeted. He said that the statute which applies to the Punjab Assembly allows for a no confidence motion but there is no provision for a confidence motion, and therefore it is illegal and, I quote, also a joke on the people. So that's his interpretation of the law. How do you respond?
Absence of a provision doesn't mean prohibition, number one. Number two, almost all motions and all resolutions that are brought before a legislature are not mentioned in any book of law or any rule book. And rules and these laws that are being quoted selectively by the BJP are not supreme. What is supreme is the Indian Constitution, which clearly says that the governor is a nominal head, he's bound by the aid and advice, and what transpires in the house, the list of business or the business of the house, is the exclusive domain of the Speaker of the Assembly and the members of the house. It is not the domain of the governor. Governor is not the headmaster, and it's not that we are school-going students that he will sit in judgment and sit on our heads and dictate what business can be brought before the house and what business cannot be brought before the house.
Okay. All right, Raghav, thanks very much for sharing that view of the Aam Aadmi Party on what you suggest is op lotus in the works or an attempt in Punjab, and how you're trying to counter that. I think the big takeaway that there is evidence, perhaps audio and video, submitted by the Aam Aadmi Party to the Punjab police, where they say that this is evidence of how the BJP is trying to lure Aam Aadmi Party leaders in Punjab to join their side.